Slater Crusaders, America's the greatest country in the world. Glad you're here. I want to present to you the Mike Slater working plan for how to get back to whatever the heck we're going to get back to. First thing to remember, remember, the point of the hammer the last few months was not to end the virus or eliminate the virus or kill the virus. The whole point of this, the shutdown, the whole point of it was to prevent a spike in healthcare demand and prevent an overwhelming of the healthcare system. That was the point. Other than New York City, we're well under capacity nationwide, and that's great news. Maybe there's another city here too I'm missing here, but for the most part, we're well under capacity, and that's wonderful. Let's celebrate that. That's fantastic. Compared to what could have been, wonderful. But that's the first reality. Second reality, there's the assumption that something like 70% of people or so are going to get this eventually. And again, we just wanted to make sure it wasn't all at the same time. But since we're so far under the healthcare capacity line, I live in San Diego, we're in California, we are way under the healthcare capacity line. Isn't it not only safe, but wise to start letting some people go out into the world? And when you do that, a certain percentage will get it and nothing will happen. A smaller percentage will get it and get a little sick, and a smaller percentage will get it and get very sick, and an even smaller percentage will die. But again, the goal was never to prevent everyone from getting sick ever again from COVID. That wasn't the point. So I think now it's time, right? We talked about the hammer and then the dance. I think it's time to start the dance. Let some people go out. And because wouldn't it be true that the longer we social distance now, we're delaying the inevitable and setting ourselves up for a potentially worse spike in the future? Right? If we all wait around for another month and then 80% of us go back to work right away, the spike's going to be enormous. It'd be like nothing. It's like we didn't do anything. Right? It's like, what was the point of everything we just did if we all go back to normal? But if maybe now 20% of us go back to work and go do things, then the spike there'll be an increase, but it'll be completely manageable. And that's the point, to keep it under the healthcare capacity line. So 2 questions. First, what things should people be allowed to do, right? Because we don't want people to do things that cause a ton of spread. That doesn't make any sense. But the other question is, who should be let free? I want to address the who today. Now, the good news about this is the government doesn't need to decide this. They don't need to manage this. The government doesn't need to say, well, everybody with last names between A and G, you guys are allowed to leave for the next month. Like, the government doesn't need to do that. Because the total hunch, but I have this belief that people have already put themselves into pretty evenly distributed groups of when they feel comfortable going out and doing things. So let's back it up just a second. I want to make an analogy here. So in technology world, there are 5, I think we have a little graph of this. There's 5 categories of technology adopters. You see on the far left, you have innovators. What is that, like 2% of people or so? Then you have early adopters, early majority, late majority, and laggards. So the innovators are the people who are most likely to take a risk on buying a new technology, right? So these are the people who are going to buy a 3D curved TV just because it's new and they need it right away. Or they need the newest iPhone. Like, they're standing in line every single time there's a new iPhone. And it's a small percentage of people. And they're extreme. But that's okay. And in COVID land, we know who they are, right? These are the protesters who are out protesting because the government said they can't do something and they want to do the opposite, right? And they're not going to wear a mask because it's an infringement on my rights or whatever. So they're ready to go. They're the innovators. Great. Let them go. Let them take the risk. You don't need to crack down on them anymore. You did for the last 2 months. Perfect. Totally acceptable. I get it. I've been all in. But now let them go. Let the innovators do their thing. Slater Crusaders, thanks for watching the first on YouTube. If you want more, like, subscribe. We got plenty.